Okay, so we're getting more in depth now with AutoCAD. We're getting into some more advanced commands now, and I want to show you dynamic blocks. Okay, so let's find a block. This block here I've created. This is a standard L-shaped desk. Okay, now if we paste that in, if we have this block here and we could put that in a room, but really you would end up with a few different options with this desk. You would probably end up with one that way around and another one that way around, and in an office layout you would end up with a selection of different ones, different sizes. You'd also have some facing that way, and you could just have one block. You could have that one and just literally take that block, and as we've just done, mirror it along that way, and just have that one block mirrored around. The problem with that is if you have text in a block, then you'll be mirroring the text also, and it's just not a very efficient way of working. If you wanted to change the desk to a different shape, you'd have to start mirroring and moving it around. But there is a way in AutoCAD we can have what are called dynamic blocks. And a dynamic block is a block which can be configured with different options contained inside. So let me show you. I'll show you by it. We'll actually build a dynamic block together, and you'll see how to build it and how it works. So let's take this here. We've got a block of a chair and we've got a desk, and we're going to create a block. So type in block. We'll call it let's call it desk for dynamic desk. Base point, we'll pick there. Objects, select all those, and that's it. Okay, so now we have this block. So by double clicking a block, you can go into block editor, which we'll do. And now this is a block editing. We've got all these icons here, and we have the palette here. If you don't see this palette, click on this button there and you'll get this Aeroform palette, and this is what lets you create dynamic blocks with all sorts of different configurations. So what we want is we want a desk that we can view handed the other way, so mirrored the other way. So first go to parameters, and this will be a flip parameter. The flip parameter will be from that midpoint there down, and the label flip state 1 can be there. I also want this arrow to be there. This arrow will be an icon we can click on, so you don't really want it over a line, you want it somewhere where you can see it. But you can, everything's changeable later on. So we've added a flip state. Now we'll go to actions, and the action we want to do, the parameter is just the control, so this is a state. The action is what that control will actually do, and that control will flip it. So we select flip under actions, and it will ask us select parameter. The parameter is the one we've just created, flip state 1, so you select that. Now it will say select objects. We select all, right click, okay. And now I'm going to create another parameter, again flip, this time, and we're just repeating what we've just done but in the other direction. So the midpoint from there, we'll put this label here, and we'll move that arrow there. Okay, now we'll go to Actions, Flip, and it's Flip State 2, Select Objects, All, and then right click. Okay. And then lastly, make sure when you click Close, we click Save Changes. And it looks exactly the same, but if we click on this block now, we have our two arrows. These are the arrows we positioned. If we click on this one, we can flip our block. If we click on this one, we can flip it in that direction. So between them, we've got every configuration of this desk, and it's contained in just one block. So all we need to do is copy this one block somewhere if we didn't have desks already, and we could flip it around, change the configuration as we please. And that is the basics of dynamic blocks. They are very powerful and very great. They save a lot of time, a lot of different having all these different blocks and messing around with blocks. And if you look, when you're looking for blocks on the internet, you will see some really good dynamic blocks. Especially people, you can have one person and he can be kneeling down, standing up, bending over, all these different movements you might want on a construction drawing. You could have a hard hat on, or is a man in a shirt and tie, or a suit, or a raincoat. You could have all these different configurations of people, and it's just one block.